to today's live, which is coming to you from CMT Stuttgart, and this is the Hall of Knaus Tabbert. I want to turn the thing around so you don't want to look at me. Probably don't want to look at me, I don't know, maybe you do want to look at me, but I'll show you the vehicles. Now, as you may be aware, I think, or may not be aware, I think Knaus Tabbert is it's not the sort of vehicle I would want to drive. Indeed, I get more complaints about Knaus Tabbert than any other brand. So people sort of complain to me. I don't know why they complain to me. It's thinking it's my fault or something. But it isn't my fault if you buy a van and it doesn't work. And it isn't my fault even if you saw it first on my channel and it doesn't work. Here, let's have a look inside. This is Weinsberg. This thing is going to cost 86,000 euros, and this is on a Ford base. Ford makes a really good camper van base these days. I would say for the motorhomes, then I don't think it makes that much difference. In this thing here, 86,000 euros, you get a vehicle which doesn't have proper covers up here, but one thing it does have are these things here, and this is called this system. I don't know if this is made by a system from Kiepur, which is a company based near Günzburg, Germany. I've got them in my van, and I think these things are absolutely brilliant. So if they can't be bothered to put a cover on, put something like this on, and it really does go a long way. I may even go to the factory and do a video from there. I did a factory visit to there 7 years ago. I think that might be worth linking sometime again. And anyway, the point actually I was showing you here, though, they haven't bothered to put one in here, and I've got to always ask, what is the point of that? I mean, things just drop out. If the vehicle moves, and I think that most people are thinking of moving their vehicle, maybe there's something I have misunderstood, but when the vehicle's in motion, I think some kind of cover or something to hold things in place is required. Whilst I'm here as well, by the way, the carpet's just there to protect the floor, so don't judge them on that. But I really think at this price level, a flat floor is called for. That is my opinion. It's got two burners here, which I think is enough. Some people don't think two's enough. I mean, if you don't think two's enough, do say so. But I think that's okay. And mind you, in a van where there's a bit extra space, I think I'd like to see a bigger sink. Bigger sink means you can actually wash things up. Don't think anybody here actually does do washing up, but it always does help you trying to get your stuff clean and keep things hygienic. Here we've got a sink over the toilet. I just tried using one of these earlier, and I was filming earlier and the thing didn't work. It wasn't this van. Let's see if I can get this thing here to move. Oh, look at that. There, I've got it to move. So that moves across there. You need to use the toilet. Use the toilet. If you use the toilet, by the way, always lift the seat up first. That's a little bit of advice. You'll be glad I told you about that one if you forget. Let's come outside and you see, okay, there's a fridge here. This is a Dometic fridge. Opens two ways. No, sorry, it doesn't open two ways. It opens one way. But let's come outside, because one thing I do want to show you, and you've got this here. If in hot weather, you've got to open the vents right here. So the vents are closed, and you open them by moving this thing around. Of course, on this thing it doesn't work because it's. Anyway, you're supposed to open them that. If you better try it out with a better brand than Weinsberg, and it might actually work. Now, Weinsberg is meant to be a cheaper version of Knaus. Now, if you build something which is a cheaper version, okay, you can't really put a cheaper base vehicle on it, because you put a Fiat costs the same. If a Fiat costs the same, it ends up being a Weinsberg or Knaus or Rolls Royce or whatever. Well, not Rolls Royce, don't do camper vans, but you get the idea. But what Weinsberg has done, because they can't get the base vehicles, I presume, is putting things like Mercedes. There's a Ford, but this one here is on a Mercedes Sprinter. And personally, I think that the grille at the front looks quite good. and I think that looks most distinguished. Of course, I mean, it depends on your taste. Maybe you think that grills are a complete waste of time on the front of vehicles, but I think that actually looks quite nice. Let's take you around and see some camper vans as well whilst we're here. So there's a hello Jason, hello. Now Knaus has introduced this rather weird range of funny looking vans, and it's called the Excursion, which is available both in Knaus and Weinsberg brands. Now the advantage of something like this is, of course, it looks first of all, it looks quite good. 6 meters, under 6 meter vehicle, small footprint and stacked of stuff inside. One of them even has an absolutely enormous garage. I don't know if I want to get in though, so I'm just talking about something. I haven't even bothered checking this one out. I'll try and get in this one here. No, I'm not going to get it. I'll try and get in this one here. And oh, guess what? We're in. So it got this rear door, which is very clever, and coming in here, and this is really clever. We've got this enormous garage there, or deep garage, I should say. I mean, you could have a coat that's like 2.5 meters long. It would still fit. You know, Princess Diana had a wedding dress which just about fit in one of them. So I mean, I think that's really good. So if people go skiing or something, that could be quite handy. And it's got a very small footprint, ultra small footprint, and a big kitchen here. And we've got in here a very large washroom, and down here, okay, there's a step. I don't like steps in vans, but you can't start complaining when the thing's only 6 meters long. You've got this lounge down here, and that can make a bed, and as an option you've got another bed that comes out here. And I had a go at this the other day. I pulled one out, which I'm not going to pull all the way out because I don't want it. I'm frightened it's going to break. No, I'm not even going to try. Sorry, I mean, I'm frightened it's going to break on me. It is, at the end of the day, a Weinsberg, and it could well end up breaking on me. As this bed comes out, so you think, oh well, that's pretty good. I mean, the idea is well thinking out the box. Why have they done this? They've built it, I think, around the idea of using the VW Bully, like the transporter, VW transporter, VW 6.1 as the base, because it is available. That's the reason. So they're building, and every motorhome RV manufacturer is actually doing this. My problem with this is, you know, it's the manufacturer, and the things when like this, I've seen them already going wrong. I do appreciate that this is a trade fair and things get broken because people start messing around with them. But the more fiddly things are, the more chance there is that they're going to break. Although it is thinking outside the box, do appreciate it. And once more, yeah, you'll have to buy it if you break it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't want to pull it. But they have used, this is very clever. They're using the Kipua system in here to this here. You couldn't really put a cover on that. I do think that's thinking quite well. And you could sort of stick things like clothing and what have you in there, and it would stay in. So I mean, this thing here, I think this is quite revolutionary in RV life. What isn't RV is having a hole and there's nothing you can actually do with it. There are, I believe, 4 versions of these excursions, and I think this is, you know, it's most novel. Here, we'll have a look on this one here, where they've got the garage is open, and look at the size of that. Really, that's pretty good. The ladder wouldn't be necessary if you didn't have that optional bed up front. 90,000 approximately is the cost here. It says there easy travel box. Well, that's obviously the person who stuck that there doesn't know, because that is for the cassette toilet. The travel box is here. Also, this is quite a good idea, because what they've got here is you can thread through your cable when you're on a campsite or something, stick it in the electrics there, close this up here like that, and key and lock it, and then your cable is safe. Nobody can, you have to yank the cable out quite forcefully to get it. So what they'll do is go and pinch the cable of the person who's standing beside you. And day 8, thank you, yes, day 8, I've managed, I'm still here. Water goes in there. And I also think this is a good idea, actually, having the water with a separate key from the outside. I've noticed that many of these water things, the keys stop working quite quickly. Lots of people complain at them. So I think that also is that having this like that is a good idea. So keeping that in there. Also, obviously, water as much as possible to keep it somewhere where it's not going to freeze. Now, I don't know if this is actually heated or not. I think the heating bit is an option. Why would one, for example, heat the water? Okay, stopping it freezing. And the same is for the wastewater as well. You don't necessarily want your wastewater to freeze. So it makes it a bit daft. I would suggest rather than heating it, get it somewhere where you can actually dump it as soon as possible. Now here we have another layout inside, and in this case we've got this large garage at the back, and if nobody's in there we can get in, and if somebody is in there we won't get in, and it looks like someone's in there, so we're not going to get in, and we could possibly get in there. But okay, what's this got? It's got at the rear there's a bed at the rear. This is more of a sort of standard motorhome layout, bed at the rear, but a box built on top of a Volkswagen Bulli, and just wish a better company had actually built it. So I can get in now. So let's have a walk up. There's a step up and then there's a step down there, but you know, really, given the size of it, you can't expect otherwise. We haven't put a bed up here. The optional bed's gone. Good idea. But what this has got, which in my opinion is really asking for trouble, is the following. There you have, like, mattress comes out. Okay, that's not a problem. Look at this. This wall will move. I'm not even going to demonstrate, just in case it breaks. The whole thing just breaks off in my hand. Anyway, the shower's there. The wall moves back, because it's true. You're either in the shower or you're in bed. You're probably not doing both of the things at the same time. So the idea of using the same space isn't bad in theory. Indeed, why not? Why not use the shower room as a wardrobe or something like this? The problem is, in use, if you're using this vehicle frequently, and if there's two of you, double frequently, and I'm in the shower 3 times a day at least in hot water, I think that's just asking for trouble, to be quite honest. It's just any moving parts, particularly, again, once more, it's the quality of the build of this company, which so I mean, I like the idea. I'm just bothered about the thing breaking. And once more, we see we've got here, and manufacturers starting to move away from Fiat Ducatos. Indeed they are, and the reason they can't, because they can't get the Fiat Ducatos. It's Fiat's problem. Sorry, it's Fiat's, is that right? Fiat's caused this problem. I don't know if that's fair, because they can't, Fiat's unable to deliver, so that's why they're moving away. They're having to think of other things. Once more, keeper system, brilliant, hole in the wall, nothing you can do with that. So that's my opinion. Hey, let's have a quick walk around now somewhere else. I was filming in one of these, then I fell down there and dropped the camera. Anyway, I'm going to publish that because it was relatively amusing. Here's a Vitrifigo fridge, just in case you haven't seen one. 2-way fridge, means it runs off electricity. Works better than a 3-way fridge, because the ones working on gas aren't much cop when it's hot. They work when it's cold, in which case you don't really need a fridge, because you can just leave your stuff outside. And yeah, well, they have been, yeah, look, they have been moving away from Fiat for the last 2 years, but I think I think that to a large extent it is due to the fact of delivery is the problem. Even 2 years ago, I mean, the Fiat Ducato in 2019, if I remember rightly, had, no, hang on, was it 18? Had 75 or 73% of the market, and then it dropped to 70% in 2019. It dropped to around then, and so that was the problem. Anyway, so it looked like, I really like the way they've actually designed this hall. I've got to say that, as much as I don't like the company. But the way they designed, I think the colour scheme looks great. We've got this orange down here and the blue over there. That looks really, really nice. But anyway, what I think I'll do is I'll keep the other part of this haul for tomorrow, and for today I'll just take you into this Cara Compact 640. No, I won't, because somebody's in it. And I'll show you around those vehicles later. But hey, look, isn't that a great display? I've got to say that. You see, nobody say I'm biased, because even the companies I don't... my favourite company, I didn't take it, the Carthago, I deliberately didn't take it to yesterday. And least favourite, I'm giving you a more or less... I wouldn't say a thorough walk around, but a bit of a walk around. So, good. Thanks very much for being here. I hope you found that of interest on RV equipment. It's a quick walk through the whole, more than anything else. I mean, the video is about 18 minutes long. I thought tomorrow I'll try and do a number of shorter videos tomorrow, but I thought one of them I could actually do is to show you the equipment haul again. I thought I'd show you in the video tonight, then we'll have another go on. So maybe if you've got questions from the equipment, I could actually ask them. It's a bit difficult to ask things in real time often, but you can ask the question and then maybe I could come back or something along those lines. Anyway, see how it works. It mightn't work. It might be a bit of a failure. But anyway, so here we have Weinsberg, the oldest, I believe, RV company in the world, founded, if I remember right, in 1819. Only they made horses, carts, or to make the horses made the horses, but carts they made. And so it's, maybe it was 1813, maybe it was 1813. Anyway, it's the oldest in the world, I think. And Westfalia dates to, I think it's 1860 something. And yeah, okay, you want to see mine? Mine's a bit of a mess. My thing is my vehicle. Oh, thank you very much, Moto. Oh, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. I'll get a couple of coffees at that price. And thank you. Westfalia dates, I think it's 1863 or 1864, something along those lines. And Notin dates to 1921, but obviously Notin was building caravan. I think they started off building caravans. I might have got that wrong. Anyway, Notin are not here as such, so I'm unable to check that one. Thanks very much for being with me today. All the best, and film tonight. I will not be present at the premiere because I'll be out doing something, and hopefully I'll get invited somewhere or something. I'll be back on the premieres myself personally on Monday. And on Monday the aim is to go to Silver Dream, which is nearby. Thanks, all the best, and thanks and all the best for me in Stuttgart.